Once upon a time, in the beautiful kingdom of Umweze, lived a very beautiful and amazing teenage girl known as Ama. Ama's father, Chief Ikenga, was a very successful and powerful businessman who was widely known for his immense wealth and vast estates. Chief Ikenga owned numerous companies, lands, and vast properties. Ama was his only child. She was her father's pride and joy. From a tender age, Ama was surrounded by great luxuries, love, and comfort. She lacked nothing at all in life. Ama's father, Chief Ikenga, often whispered words of hope and encouragement into Ama's ears, teaching her the importance of kindness, resilience, and the value of hard work. One fateful morning, disaster struck in the land of Umwezi. Chief Ikenga suddenly took ill and was rushed to the hospital. His condition worsened by the hour. Soon, the doctors gave up hope on Chief Ikenga's survival. With Chief Ikenga's last breath, he called his daughter Ama to his side. Ama, he whispered weakly, his voice barely audible. The world will be hard for you, my child, but never let it break you. Stand tall and be strong, and always seek justice no matter what it will cost you. Tears welled up in Ama's eyes as she grasped her father's hands tightly. I will make you proud, Papa, she promised her father. Chief Ikenga died that night, leaving Ama's world completely shattered. The death of Chief Ikenga set off a storm of greed and betrayal within his extended family. Ama's uncles, who had always been envious of their brother's success, immediately moved in to take control of his assets. Ama, who was the rightful heir to her father's assets, was tossed aside by her uncles, who told her that she was just a girl child who should focus her energy on learning how to do chores so that she would be able to attract a suitable husband in no distant time. Ama's uncles seized all her father's wealth for themselves and their families and threw Ama out of her father's house. Ama, left with no other option, had to seek refuge in the home of some of her distant relatives. The relatives Ama moved in with treated her with so much cruelty. Poor orphan girl, they would sometimes call her. They made Ama do all the chores in their house and never failed to remind her that her Ajebota days were over as her father was now gone. Ama's relatives taunted her always for being a penniless girl without a home or future. Ama was constantly being beaten, insulted, tortured, and greatly humiliated by the people she was living with. Through all this, however, Ama kept her father's words tightly inside her heart. Her uncles, on the other hand, loudly celebrated their newfound wealth and power. They paraded Ama's father's wealth as if they had always been theirs. Their greed knew no bounds. Ama, however, promised herself that she would rise again, no matter how hard the journey ahead would be for her. Years passed and Ama grew stronger. She worked tirelessly to put herself through school. Her pains and sufferings were the greatest fuel to her determination, as she excelled so well in her studies. Ama was the best graduating student in her secondary school. She was accepted into one of the most amazing universities in Nigeria to study law. Ama studied so hard, like her life depended on her books. with her mind focused on one goal: to return to Umweze and reclaim her father's legacy. When Amma finally graduated from the university, she confidently returned to Umweze. She was now a grown woman with a burning desire for justice, and no longer the orphan girl that was cast off in the past by her uncles. Amma's uncles, who were living lavishly off her father's fortunes, did not even recognize her at first. Amma, however, did not come to beg for her inheritance in her father's estate, but she came to take what was rightfully hers. Amma had always suspected that her father's sudden death was not natural. Her father's health had been fine up until the very end, and his illness had come on too suddenly. Amma began to dig deeper, using her legal skills and contacts to uncover the truth. After months of investigation, Amma uncovered a horrifying revelation. It was that her uncles were the ones who poisoned her father. In their greed to inherit Chief Ikenga's wealth, they masterminded his death, slowly poisoning him over months so it would seem like an illness. With some of the evidences Amma was able to assemble, she filed a case against her uncles in court. The trial was long and very fierce. Amma's uncles tried to discredit her, calling her a bitter orphan with no claims to Chief Ikenga's fortune. Amma, with her sharp mind and relentless pursuit for justice, however, presented the evidence that proved that her uncles orchestrated her father's death. Witness after witness testified to Amma's uncle's treachery. In the end, the truth was completely bare and could no longer be denied. In a landmark verdict, Amma won the case. Her wicked uncles were sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Amma's father. The court also declared Amma the rightful heir to her father's estate, and all her father's wealth that was stolen from her were all returned to her. Amma's uncles, who thought they had broken Amma's spirit in the past and underestimated her willpower, were taken away in handcuffs. Their faces twisted with rage and disbelief as they walked past Amma, who was full of smiles over her victory on the court corridors. Amma's victory in court was just the beginning for her story, however. With the return of her father's wealth, she set out to rebuild all her father's business empire, but with her own vision this time around. Amma restructured her father's companies, modernized them, and introduced great innovative solutions to the business. Under Amma's leadership, her father's businesses grew to an unprecedented level. Amma expanded her father's legacy far beyond its original scope, investing in new industries, technology, and international markets. Years passed, and Amma's name became synonymous with success and power. She was no longer just a businesswoman, but a global icon who was now one of the richest women in the entire world. Despite Amma's wealth, however, she remained humble and focused on giving back to her community. She built very affordable schools, hospitals, and orphanages in her father's name so as to ensure that no child in her community will ever suffer the way she did in their own lives. The people of Umweze, her father's land, crowned Amma with the title Omekannaya, one of Umweze. Amma went on to live a very long, happy, and fulfilling life. This is the end of my story. The moral of this story is that a child is a child, whether male or female. Denying a child that due inheritance because they are female is a barbaric act. Secondly, people should learn to write wills. It helps prevent a lot of evil in future when one is no more. If Ama's father wrote a will, her uncles would never have tried what they did to her after his death. Finally, wickedness is not good. It doesn't matter how long one perpetrates their evil, someday it will surely catch up with them. Thank you for watching.